In my presentation, I'm going to be covering English language learners and literacy. I'm going to discuss what English language learners are, how to identify them in the state of Texas, and different approaches and practices that can be used. An English language learner is a person who is learning English in addition to their native language. In other words, the ELL is learning and progressing in a new language. In 2015, students who were learning English consisted of 1 out of every 10 students in the United States, or approximately 5 million students. In the state of Texas, you can identify an EL student by using a home survey that each student is required to take. It consists of 2 questions, first being what language is spoken in your home most of the time, and second being what language does your child speak most of the time. This is the low cost and effective way of receiving an answer as far as if a student is ELL or not. In addition to the survey, students K through 1st will be required to take an oral language proficiency test. Students 2nd to 12th will have this proficiency test, as well as an English reading section and an English language arts section from a norm reference assessment. Once these scores are calculated, they will be reviewed and the EL identity is determined of the student. There are several approaches to teaching EL students, the most common 3 being English as second language, transitional bilingual, and dual language. English as second language is also considered sheltered instruction. In this, students function in English with little use of the student's native language. Transitional bilingual is when classrooms are bilingual. Students are to reach English proficiency, but continue instruction in their native language. The last being dual language, or dual immersion, where one part of the day is in English and the other is in a different language. The last 2, transitional bilingual and dual language, both require the teacher to be bilingual, whereas transitional bilingual requires the teacher to teach primarily in English with the aid of their native language. The challenges with EL students in literacy may seem obvious. EL students represent numerous languages, cultures, ethnicity, and nationalities. Most of these students struggle because they have little or no access to quality instruction to meet their needs. They achieve at lower levels than English-speaking students. They have a lack of qualified teachers, and there is no one solution when it comes to teaching EL students because of their diversity. When it comes to teaching literacy to students, and in particular EL students, there is not much difference. All students, whether they speak English or not, will benefit from clear goals and learning objectives, challenging and motivating texts, rich content, structure and organization, active engagement, practice, constant feedback, and motivating interactions. Not much different than English-speaking students when they're learning English, EL students will benefit from explicit instruction of components of literary and scaffolding instructional content. ELs also learn more words through meaning, repetition, and use. They require support and modifications. Depending on the level of skills, the level of structure and challenge can be adjusted. A couple of practices that can be used for EL students are authentic learning experiences. Students actively participate, draw from personal experiences, and interact with content and peers. This is based on the interest of students and making connections with concepts. A second is visual literacy. Students gain understanding through organized data such as pictures, diagrams, and graphic organizers. Students are given opportunities to interpret and evaluate and express understanding. Understanding of spoken words can improve 6-fold as 70 to 90% of information received by the brain is visual. The last is substantial conversations. Substantial conversations. Students are encouraged to use higher order thinking and generate genuine discourse. Students are provided with opportunities to practice and build on listening and speaking skills using academic language. Overall, EL students, when learning to read and write, are not much different than regular students. They both require attention to their needs,